So, welcome to Corporate Bhagavad Gita. Are you able to see my screen? No, right? Just a minute. Hmm. Okay. There press on my screen. You can repeat with me. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha
Shri
Chaitanyamanovishtham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam
Swayam
Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Swapakam Vandeham Shri
Om
Guru
Shri Guru Shri
Yuktapadakamalam
Balaam Shri Guru
Rupam Sagrajatam Sah
Sagar Natham Gatam
वंदेहम श्री गुरो शियुक्ता पदकमलम श्री गुरुन् वैष्णवांश श्री रूपम सागर जातम सहगण रघुनाथान्वितम तम सजीवम साद्वैतम सावधूतम परिजन सहितम कृष्ण चैतन्य देवम श्री राधा कृष्ण पदान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश
He
हे
Krishna
कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगतपते
Go
गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी विश्वभानुसुते प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So welcome everyone. Um, we were we were somewhere. He said, if you are not able to remember me, I will remember you. Antakale. Okay. Yeah. I think this we completed. Yeah, we are somewhere here as explained before. Okay. Can someone volunteer to read?
Okay, Prabhuji. I can
Yeah.
read. I think there is sound Prabhuji in the background.
Okay, Prabhuji, I will read.
Yes.
As, as explained before, there are different kinds of transcendentalists. The Brahmavadi, Paramatmavadi, and the devotee, and as mentioned in the Brahma Jyotir spiritual sky, they are innumerable spiritual planets. The number of these planets is far, far greater than all of the planets of this material world. This material world has been approximated as only one quarter of the creation. In this material segment, there are millions and billions of universes with trillions of planets and suns, stars and moons. But this whole material creation is only a fragment of the total creation. Most of the creation is in the spiritual sky. One who desires to merge into the existence of the Supreme Brahman is at once transferred to the Brahmajyoti of the Supreme Lord and thus attains the spiritual sky. The devotee who wants to enjoy the association of Lord enters into the Vaikuntha planets, which are innumerable, and the Supreme Lord by his plenary expansions as Narayana with four hands and with different names like Pradyumna, Aniruddha, and Govinda associates with him there. Therefore, at the end of life, the transcendentalists think either of the Brahmajyoti, the Paramatma, or the Supreme Personality of the Godhead, Sri Krishna. In all cases, they enter into the spiritual sky, but only the devotee or he who is in personal touch with the Supreme Lord enters into the Vaikuntha planets or the Gola Vrindavan planet. The Prabhuji, next page.
Oh, 1 minute. Huh?
Uh, the the Lord further adds that of this there is no doubt. This must be believed firmly. We should not reject that which does not tally with our imagination. Our attitude should be that of Arjuna. I believe everything that you have said. Therefore, when the Lord says that at the time of death, whoever thinks of him as Brahman or Paramatma or as the personality of Godhead certainly enters into the spiritual sky. There is no doubt about it. There is no question of disbelieving it. Yes.
No.
The
Yeah,
Bhagavad
go
Gita
ahead. Go
also
ahead.
explains the general principles that makes it possible to enter the spiritual kingdom simply by thinking of the Supreme at the time of death. Yam yam api
यम यम
samaram.
वापि स्मरण भावम त्यजेत अन्ते कलेवरम तम तमैवेति कौन्तेय सदा तद्भाव भावितः.
Whatever state of being one remembers, when he quiets his present body, in his next life he will attain to that state without fail. Now, first, we must understand that material nature is a display of one of the energies of the Supreme Lord. The Vishnu Puranam, the total energies of the Supreme Lord are delineated. Vishnu Shakti,
परा
Paraprapta,
प्रोक्ता क्षेत्र
Kshetra,
क्षेत्र ज्ञानख्य
Jankhya,
तथा परा
Tatapara,
अविद्या कर्म
Avidya, Karma,
संज्ञान
Samjani,
संज्ञान
Tritya,
संज्ञान तृतीय शक्ति
Saktir, Isyate,
तृतीय
Isyate,
तृतीया
Tritiya,
शक्तिर
Saktir,
इष्यते.
Isyate. The Supreme Lord has diverse and innumerable energies which are beyond our conception. However, great learned sages or liberated souls have studied these energies and have analyzed that into the three parts. All of the energies are of Vishnu Shakti, that is to say, they are different potencies of Lord Vishnu. The first energy is para transcendental. Living entities also belong to the superior energy. As has already been explained, the other energies or material energies are in the mode of ignorance. At the time of death, either we can remain in the inferior energy of this material world or we can transfer to the energy of the spiritual world. So the Bhagavad Gita says, Yam Yam Vapi Samran Bhavam Tayajatya Ante Kalevaram Tam Tam Avaiti Kauntaye Sada Tad Bhava Bhavitta. There, whatever state of being one, whatever state of being one remembers when he quits his present body, in his next life he will attain to that state without fail. In life, we are accustomed to thinking either of the material of the or of the spiritual energy. Now, how can we transfer our thoughts from the material energy to the spiritual energy? There are so many literatures which fill our thoughts with the material energy, newspaper, magazines, novels, etc. Our thinking, which is now observed in these literatures, must be transferred to the Vedic literatures. The great sages, therefore, have written so many Vedic literatures such as Puranas. The Puranas are not imaginative, they are historical record. In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, there is the following verse. Maye Mukta Jivira Nahi Savatta Krishna Janana Jivir Kripaye Kaila Krishna Veda Purana.
Yeah,
The,
just wait.
oh,
So I think a lot was spoken. So there are in this whole creation there is spiritual world and then there is material world. We had seen the kind of a picture which will help us again. Yeah, I mean, see, this is the whole creation of which this is the spiritual world, and this small black bubble is the material world. This is Mahavishnu. From each universe comes multiple universes. So if we go for the whole picture, it is like this. Now, this part, the material world is just 1/4 of it, and 3/4 is the spiritual world. 3/4. And it has innumerable planets. There's no counting for it, innumerable. Now, those who are on the spiritual path, they would like to merge with the Brahma Jyoti. Okay, that is, those are the Brahmavadis. Then there are Paramatmavadis. They will realize the Paramatma. And then there are Bhaktas, that is devotees, who will realize the Bhagavan aspect of the Lord. Now, how does this whole thing happens? How does one enter the spiritual kingdom? So, at the time of that, Antakale, whatever we are thinking, Smaran, that we get. Sadatat bhava bhavitaha. That we get what we are thinking at the time of that. Now, what we think at the time of that is what throughout our life we are having attachments to will come at the time of death, and then our next life will be decided. Now, if somebody is a devotee and he is attached to Krishna, then he will get transferred to the spiritual world. Okay, so how to get transfer? So in this paragraph we read that we are attracted to today's world, like newspaper, magazine, novels, movies, right? We are attracted to all these things. So what will happen at the time of death? We may remember all these things. Okay, we may remember all these things. Now, Krishna has provided Vedic literatures which are also very attractive, and if we transfer our consciousness to them, then at the time of death we will remember all these what are there in the Puranas, the Shrimad Bhagavatam Purana and other Puranas, and then we can go back home back to God. माया मुग्ध जीवेर नहीं स्वतः कृष्ण ज्ञान जीवेर कृपा है कृपा कैले कृष्ण वेद पुराण. When Krishna does kripa on jiva, he gives ved and purana. On his own, a maya mukta jiver, maya mukta means one who is stuck in this maya, he cannot have Krishna gyan on his own swataha. Then how will he have? He will have by Krishna's mercy, which comes through Veda Puran. So that's why we have to turn towards Shastra. And Shastras, they turn to us towards Krishna. Then when we get Krishna knowledge, we desire to go back home, back to God. We desire to go back to Krishna. Right? And that's how we reach the spiritual world. So right now our desire is what? Okay, I will go to Swargaloka, I'll go here, there, everywhere. But when we start hearing about Krishna, then we only want to go to Krishna. Does that make sense? Yes or no?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so if someone wants to read, they can continue here. The forgetful living entity.
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yeah. Just read little louder.
Okay. The forgetful living entities or conditioned souls have forgotten their relationship with the Supreme Lord, and they are engrossed in thinking of material activities. Just to transfer their thinking power to the spiritual sky, Krishna
Dvaipayana Vyasa.
Dvaipayana Vyasa has given a great number of Vedic literatures. First, he divided the Vedas into four, then, he explained them in the Puranas, and for less capable people, he wrote the Mahabharata. In the Mahabharata, there is given the Bhagavad Gita. Then all Vedic literature is summarized in the Vedanta Sutra. And for future guidance, he gave a natural commentation on the Vedanta Sutra called Srimad Bhagavatam. We must always engage our minds in reading these Vedic literatures, just as materialists engage their minds in reading newspaper, magazines, and so many materialistic literatures. We must transfer our reading to these literatures which are given to us by Vyasadev. In that way, it will be possible for us to remember the Supreme Lord at the time of death. That is the only way suggested by the Lord, and He guarantees the result. There is no doubt.
Yeah, continue.
Therefore, Arjuna, you should always think of me in the form of Krishna and at the same time continue your prescribed duty of fighting. With your activities dedicated to me and your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will attain me without doubt.
Yeah. So, yeah, 1 minute. Did the email come? No. 1 minute. Hmm. What's up? Someone. 1 minute. I'm looking for some shloka. Yeah.
Okay, Prabhu.
Okay. Must have pasted it. Let's check. This is- Okay. So, there are many Vedic literatures, and Vyasadev he wrote for us. Okay, he divided the Vedas into four. He explained in the Puranas, and then he wrote the Mahabharata, Ramayana. So we have this whole tree diagram that he has written, right? And here are the Ithasas, Ramayana, Mahabharata. Now, in today's world, um, we are so much busy that we are almost very, very disturbed. Whole every day we are so much disturbed. Uh, hmm. we are so much disturbed that we cannot sit and study the Vedas for hours, right? We cannot sit. We have to, um, most of us would like to hear stories. How many of you like stories? Almost everyone likes stories. Philosophy is something which you'll find it very difficult, but if it is told in terms of stories, then we'll just get very interested. So, Krishna came here, he lived here in India, Bharata, and the Mahabharata war took place. So Vyasadeva said Mahabharata is very much centered around Krishna, so he wrote Mahabharata. Ramayana is very centered around Sri Ram, therefore he wrote Ramayana. Vedanta Sutra is very philosophical, and a commentary on Vedanta Sutra is called Srimad Bhagavatam. So if we engage in these literatures, then we can transfer our mind to Krishna. And a very nice verse Chanakya has written here. Prata dutya prasangena. Pratah dutya prasangena. In the morning, dutya means gambling. In the morning, hear about gambling. Madhyena stri prasangena. In the afternoon, hear about the stri who was stolen. That is Ramayana. Ratro chaurya prasangena. In the night, hear about the stories of the thief of Vrindavan. Kalo gachanti dhimatam. This way, spend your daily time. He was a Brahmana. So he said, if you want to know everything from Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha and Bhakti, Pancham Purushartha, everything is there in these three literatures. So this is his recommendation. And if you look at it, today world, they are very much attracted to these three literatures, especially the first two literatures, right? Mahabharata, Ramayana. Kali Yuga, we want to hear stories. So if there is Mahabharata going on or Ramayana going on TV or some drama, people go and watch it, right?
Yes,
Even though
Prabhu.
they have heard it 100 times, but these stories are very deep, and they give us everything from adventure to fight to romance, everything packaged. Philosophy also packaged in it, and it gives the highest benefit also, that we are getting attracted towards Sri Krishna, Sri Rama. Hmm? And then yam yam vapi smaren, yam yam vapi, what's the verse? Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajet ante kalevaram. At the anta kalevaram, we will think about something. So if we have invested in these three, we will definitely think of whom? Krishna, right? So then it becomes easy. So this is one recommendation to all of us, that we should try to deep dive into these three books minimum: Ramayana, Mahabharata, Bhagavatam. This we read. Huh. Of this, there is no doubt. So if we engage our mind in those three literatures, then there is no doubt that we will not remember Krishna. There is no doubt like that. We will remember Krishna. And whatever we do, we'll always think of Krishna in the back of our mind and continue our prescribed duty wherever we are. Then we will definitely come back to Krishna. Why? Because our mind and intelligence is fixed on Krishna. And then attaining Krishna becomes is without doubt. Does it make sense? How the whole
Yes,
thing is set up?
Yes, Prabhu.
yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. And this is the plan we should have for everyone in the family.
Hmm.
Very easy. Everyone likes stories, right? Mahabharata, Ramayana, Bhagavatam stories. Mahabharata, Ramayana, everyone likes. Even though they know what is the ending and all that still. Because it generates those emotions. It gives us deeper thought process. Mahabharata is glorified as, how Mahabharata is glorified as everything is there inside Mahabharata. It says like this. Everything is there inside Mahabharata. And if you don't find it in Mahabharata, then it won't be there anywhere else.
Oh.
Yeah, this is how it is glorified. A very nice verse it is there. Many people have spoken on that. Let's see. Um, mm, okay, maybe okay. That particular verse is I should have known it. But yeah, it's a very nice glorification within Mahabharata. It says Vyasadeva says, if you don't find it in Mahabharata, you won't find it in everywhere else. So Mahabharata is everything. Has a lot of Nitis also. Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Everything is there. If you have anyone read Mahabharata full?
No, Prabhuji, just a little bit.
Hmm.
But there is a perception in the people that if you read Mahabharata at home,
Yeah.
yeah, like some quarrel is
Now all over the world, nobody is reading Mahabharata, but they are fighting.
yeah, they're doing Mahabharata.
See, it's all this perception, right? Should be Shastra supported. Okay, should be Shastra supported. Let's check something. The glorification of Mahabharata is there or not? Something like that. Okay, it's not here. Once I had read. I should have it handy. Otherwise, we'll keep looking at it. Electronic text.
Maybe next time.
Sargoparan. Oh, this doesn't have the English translation actually. At the very end, it says, glorification of Mahabharata. Mahabharata is meant for all of us actually. Okay. Mahabharata is meant for all of us. It is especially meant for Kali Yuga people. If you want to read the story, here it is. Let's see. Birth of Guru Elders. Introduction. Here. See, महाभारत आदि पर्व. धर्म चर्तेच कामेच मोक्षेच मरतर्षभः यत् इष्यति तत् अन्यतरम नेहस्ति न तत् क्वचित. In the realm of dharma, artha, kama, moksha, ethics, economic development, pleasure, liberation, whatever is found in this epic may be found elsewhere. But what is not found here will be impossible to find anywhere else. If you don't find it here, we won't find it anywhere else. Especially these four topics: dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And then there is glorification of Mahabharata or benefits of Mahabharata. There are many shlokas which are written like that. You can keep Mahabharata at home. So there's nothing wrong in it, okay? Keeping Mahabharata and Ramayana at home will attract what? Will attract Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita will clarify everything, right? So we unnecessarily, just fear, okay? We are just creating fear, but that's not the case. So anyway, coming back to the point, um, try to read Ramayana Mahabharata and then Bhagavatam. Hmm? It will satisfy our search in our life. Like one person, he read the whole Mahabharata and it changed his thought process, his mind, his heart. So much things happen in Mahabharata, right? So you can connect it with it. Hmm? You can connect it with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is one recommendation by great Brahmana Chanakya, almost 1,000 years back. So it works today also. Okay. Um, so like this, we can then use our mind and intelligence to fix on Krishna, and then it will become easy for us to come back to God. He does not advise Arjuna simply to remember him and give up his occupation. Don't give up your occupation. No. The Lord never suggests anything impractical. In the material world, in order to maintain our world, we have to work. Human society is divided into work into four divisions of social order: Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. The Brahmana class, intelligent class, is working in one way. They are not physically working, but they are mentally working. The Kshatriya is working in another way. The mercantile class and laborers are tending to their specific duties. In the human society, whether one is laborer, merchant, administrator, or farmer, or even if one belongs to the higher class and is a literally man, a scientist or a theologian, he has to work in order to maintain his existence. We have to maintain our existence, we have to work. Okay, till we retire. no, no concession over there. The Lord, so some people say, Bhagavad Gita teaches about moksha and all that. But if you look carefully, Krishna is telling him to do his duty about fighting. And through fighting everything, connecting with the Supreme and doing bhakti, you will achieve moksha. So interesting, right? So nowhere Krishna is saying you have to give up your duty. No. He says this path is not like that. There are other paths where one gives up his duty and all that, but the Brahmavadi path. But Krishna says no. Bhakti is Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha. Mam Anusmara Yuddhacha. Think about Krishna and fight. In the human society, whether one is laborer, merchant, administrator, or farmer, or even if one belongs to the higher class and is a literally man, a scientist, or a theologian, he has to work in order to maintain his existence. The Lord therefore tells Arjuna that he need not give up his occupation, but while he is engaged in his occupation, he should remember Krishna, Man Anuswara. If he doesn't practice, now this is very important, we need to practice this, remembering Krishna, while he's struggling for his existence. If we don't practice every day, then it won't be possible to remember Krishna at the time of death. It will not be possible. Sri Chaitanya also advises this. He says, Kirtaniya Sadahari, one should practice chanting the holy name always. The name of the Lord and the Lord are not different. Lord Krishna's instruction to Arjuna, remember me, and Lord Chaitanya's instruction, always chant the names of Sri Krishna, are a same instruction. There is no difference. Because Krishna and Krishna's name are non-different. In the absolute status, there is no difference between reference and referent. Therefore, we have to practice remembrance, remembering the Lord always 24 hours a day by chanting the name and molding our life activities in such a way that we can remember Him always. So we have to practice this of remembering Krishna. It's called sadhana bhakti. In the 12th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna talks about this. First, he says, fix your mind upon me. But if you cannot fix your mind, then follow the regulative principles of Bhakti Yoga. In this way, develop a desire to attain me. This is what we all are doing. It's called sadhana bhakti. Atha chittam samadhatum na snakshoshi mai sthiram na shakshnoshi mai sthiram abhyasa yogine tatho mam ichhapudim dhananjaya. Abhyasa of the yoga. So we are doing abhyasa, sadhana bhakti of sadhana bhakti, and then the result is that mam ichhaputim, mam ichhaptum, meaning this ichha is coming in our heart for Krishna. That's what it means. Mam here is Krishna, ichhaputim is ichha, dhananjaya. This is our real wealth, to desire about Krishna. So slowly we should come to this standard of 24 hours a day. But let's say we don't come to the standard of 24 hour day, it will take some time. So then what is our standard then at present? At present, what do you think will have our standard? So one Acharya very nicely says, he says, once a day we should remember Krishna. Once in a day we should remember Krishna. Slowly, slowly we'll increase remembering Krishna. We may not reach 24 hours, but we will increase. So we have to start with once a day we have to remember Krishna. How is this possible? The Acharyas give example. Okay, I want someone to read this.
Can I read, Prabhuji?
Yeah.
How is this possible? The Acharyas give the following example. If a married woman is attached to another man, or if a man has an attachment for a woman other than his wife, then the attachment is to be considered very strong. One with such an attachment is always thinking of the loved one. The wife who is thinking of her lover is always thinking of meeting him, even while she is carrying out her household chores. In fact, she carried out her household work even more carefully, so her husband will not suspect her attachment she carries out. Similarly, we should always remember the Supreme Lover, Sri Krishna, and at the same time perform our material duties very nicely. A strong sense of love is required here. If we have a strong sense of love for the Supreme Lord, then we can discharge our duty and at the same time remember Him. But we have to develop that sense of love. Arjuna, for instance, was always thinking of Krishna. He was the constant companion of Krishna, and at the same time, he was a warrior. Krishna did not advise him to give up fighting and go to the forest to meditate. When Lord Krishna delineates the yoga system to Arjuna, Arjuna says that the practice of this system is not possible for him. Arjuna uvacha yoyam yogastvaya prokta samyena madhusudana etasyaham na pashyami chanchalatvat sthitim stiram. Arjuna said, O Madhusudan, the system of yoga which you have summarized appears impractical and unendurable to me. For the mind is restless and unsteady. Bhagavad Gita 6.33. But the Lord says, Yoginam api sarvesham mat gatenantaratmana shraddhavan bhajate yo mam so me yukta tamo mata. Of all yogis, the one with great faith who always abides in me, thinks of me within himself, and renders transcendental loving service to me, is the most intimately united with me in yoga and is
Yeah,
the highest of all. That is my opinion.
yeah.
Bhagavad Gita
Just wait.
647. Yeah.
Yeah. So in this sixth chapter, Arjuna says that the Dhyan Yoga that you have explained. You should go to a secluded place, lay kusha grass on the ground, cover it deer skin. Seat should not be higher, not too low. We should firmly sit, control our body and our controlling our mind, senses, activities, fixing mind on one point. We should hold one's body, neck, head erect in a straight line and stare steadily at the tip of the nose. So we can't keep our eyes fully open and neither fully closed. Unagitated, subdued mind, devoid of fear, completely free from sex life, one should meditate upon me with heart and make me ultimate goal of life. Hearing this, Arjuna says this is very impractical, unendurable. Mind is restless and steady. In this section, Krishna says this 35 verse. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Asanchayam Mahabaho Mano Durnigraham Chalam Abhyasena tu Konteya Vairagyena च grihate. Asamchaya, without doubt, I know this is very durnigraham, very difficult. Mind, mano is very difficult. But abhyasene tu konteya vairagyena. You have to do abhyasa and have little vairagya. Then it is possible. Shri Krishna said, "O mighty armed Kunti, son of Kunti, it is undoubtedly very difficult to curb the restless mind, but it is possible by suitable practice and meditation. So we have to find the right practice and we have to detach. These two things we have to know. And one who does this thing, that yogi is doing bhajana, bhajate yoma, and that is the topmost one." Okay, continue. So one,
Prabhu,
So
sorry,
one
Prabhu.
who
yeah, you have a question? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, Prabhu.
No problem.
Actually, uh, in the above paragraph, they have given an analogy, right? Like the uh, the affection is very strong. So
Oh
why
yeah,
is
yeah,
that?
yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. I didn't talk about this. This is a analogy of paramour. Paramour is one who is married but thinking of some other man or woman.
Is it not against the Shastras, Prabhu?
It is against the Shastras, yes. Paramour is to become a paramour is not something that this example is trying to say.
Mm.
What it is saying is that paramour becomes very expert if she wants to hide her affair or he wants to hide his affair. They become very expert in doing that thing, and everyone thinks that there's nothing wrong and they are just perfect, right?
Mm.
Same way, a yogi in this world he will do everything perfect, but his mind will be where? Onto Krishna. Getting? This is what the example is trying to say. It's not saying to become paramour, but it is saying that um, you have to do your duty and fix your mind on Krishna, just like a
Okay.
paramour does. It's like that, just like a paramour does.
Okay, Prabhu.
Yeah, it's not to become paramour.
Meaning like the family members should not feel that
Yes,
you're
yes.
going out of duty or you're not performing
Yes,
any.
yes, that is also there.
Okay.
Like
So
Arjuna, expert fighter.
mhm,
But when he used to sleep, even in his sleep, he would say, Krishna, 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 like that.
mhm,
None of us can do that, right? In our sleep, we don't say Krishna. If we ever get any thought of Krishna, that is great thing. But Arjuna was like this. So, so if somebody in the night is saying like this, saying somebody else's name, what will be the spouse think? Who is that
Yeah,
person? है ना?
yeah.
yeah, Prabhu. Yes.
Anyway, so this is so the example is given to tell us how to be in this world and think about Krishna. Very strange example, but this is a very apt example. Let me give you another example. You may like that, though it is not given by the acharyas, but it is one of the example also given. Like we are working in this companies, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
Hmm. But we are working for whom? Definitely our family, right?
Uh, yes, yes, Prabhu.
But children and all, they are in our thoughts. So we are doing very nice work so that we can support our family, right? So the moment company comes to know about it, then company is thinking you give your 100%, but within our heart we are thinking I'm giving my 100% only because I have to support my family. Right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so this is what we are doing this, but the paramore example is even much more closer.
Mm,
And the reason is the highest devotees of Krishna, those are the gopis.
mhm,
They are married to the gopas, but throughout the day and night they are always thinking about Krishna.
mm,
So it's called parakiya bhava. One is swakiya bhava, where there is Krishna and his wives, Rukmani, Satyabhama, like that, and they are always thinking about Krishna, just like a wife may think about husband. But in Vrindavan, Krishna is not married.
mm.
Okay, the gopis are married to the gopas, and these gopis are thinking about Krishna, and that is glorified. So that example is given here.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So what is the highest rasa in the spiritual world is abominable in the material world.
It's a reflection, Prabhu. Yes.
Yes, it's a reflection.
Yeah.
So in the spiritual world, Krishna is the best brahmachari. How it is possible?
Mm,
But it is possible. And Radharani is the most chaste woman. How is that possible? Now the gopis are the most chaste women. So chastity is towards the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Chastity is towards the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And that is pure. Okay?
okay, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Actually, very less acharyas will use this example. Okay? Only those who know about the gopis and Krishna, right?
Mm, mm, mm.
Parakiya bhava, they will talk about this example.
Yeah, Prabhuji, one positive part of like this is the intensity
Yeah,
of the
yeah.
service. Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah. Like whatever is the situation, condition is of whether it is paramour or whatever it is, but the intensity is so high, like
Yes.
for the service. Yeah,
Yes. The intensity is
Maybe,
very high.
maybe no other example can
Hmm.
yeah,
explain such. Uh,
Yes, exactly. I'll tell
yeah.
you. See, there are these five rasas, Shanta rasa. In
Shantaras.
Shantarasa, Krishna is served as, a cow serving Krishna. There is love. Cow, monkey, birds, trees, flute. They are serving Krishna, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
In Dasya, in Dasya Ras, example is Hanuman. Hanuman serving Lord Sri Ram gave definitely pleasure to Ram, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Then, so this is Dasyaras, servant, Servant is giving pleasure. That is higher than Shantaras, right?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Then there is Sakhya, friendship, Arjuna, many others actually. Uddhava, and many others. They are giving they are giving a pleasure which is higher than Dasyaras to Krishna, right?
Mm.
Yes, Prabhuji.
We have a good relationship with the servant, but the moment our friend comes, we leave the servant, we go towards the friend. Why? Because the love, the affection with the friend is more. It is more tastier,
Mm.
isn't it?
Yes, Prabhuji.
But what happens if the parents come?
Even higher. Yeah, Prabhuji.
That is even higher. There the intensity is very higher. And there the taste is also very sweet, isn't it?
Yes, Prabhu.
But what if the wife comes? Huh? What if the wife comes or the husband comes? People leave their family also, right? So in this world it is like that. Swakiya. So with wife it is Swakiya. Where Lakshmi, Rukmani, all these examples come. Now, there are two types of conjugal love. One is wife, another one is paramour. Parakiya. Where the Radharani and other gopis are there. Parakiya bhavya bhajate puja. Hmm? Here what happens? Here the intensity, how it is compared to wife. Hmm? It's
More
very
Prabhuji.
high, intensive. It is like fire. With wife it is hot, but here it is fire.
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Yeah. I mean, in this material world, when somebody becomes a paramour or something, they kill the family and all that, any damn thing is happening. Right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So here we see the intensity. You can understand Krishna gets the highest intensity of love and affection in the paramour relationship more than in the wife relationship. So this is with respect to Krishna. But in the material world, everything becomes opposite. What is highest? Paramour is considered lowest.
Yeah, perfect, Prabhu. Yes.
Yeah, so this is from the rasa vichar. Okay, this is rasa vichar. Depending on the taste. But Krishna will keep relationship with everyone. Just because Radharani is there or Lakshmi is there, he's not going to run here and there. He's going to keep relationship with everyone. But if we tell what is the rasa, where he's getting highest pleasure, then that is Madhurya Ras. In that also there is Parama. Now I'll tell you one thing. There is another name of Hanuman. What is it? Sindura Lal.
Sindoor.
Right? Sindur Lal.
Yeah,
He's painted Sindur color. Why?
because Mata Sita was using Sindoor.
So I'll tell you. He knew that Sita was giving highest pleasure to Sri Ram. Okay? As a servant, he knew Sita gives highest pleasure to Sri Ram. So one day, he just looked at her and she was wearing this sindur. And then he saw that, Sri Ram became very happy on Sita. Then he thought, if Sita just wear this small sindoor and gives so much pleasure to Ram, I'll also do that. Okay, he thought, I'll also do that. So he put one small tilak, sindoor. But then he said, I want to give more pleasure. So he took the whole sindoor, put it on his whole body, and he went in front of Ram. And Ram started laughing. So my point is, Krishna takes pleasure with everyone. See, in our material world also we do like this. We have gadgets which give us some pleasure. But if a servant is giving higher pleasure, we'll go to that servant. If a friend comes, we'll go to that friend. We will like to go back home because our parents are there. We'll know we are loved over there. When we have a wife, in this world, we will go to her, wife or husband, you know, like that. Paramour is something not recommended in this world. It destroys family. But the intensity of attraction and love and affection is very high here. But it is, but we because we are in this material world, we have to be dharmic. So dharma is with wife only. It is not with the paramour. It is adharmic over there. Okay, so we discussed this rasa vichar. Hmm?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Always understand this is rasa vichar. Okay, this is not to be dharmically combined. Okay, this is rasa vichar.
Mm.
Any more question?
No, Prabhu.
Hmm. Okay, so see, this is where are we? We work
Six
not.
point, our Prabhuji 6.47. Bhagavad Gita 6.47.
Hmm. So one who thinks of Supreme Lord always is the greatest yogi. So who thinks about Krishna the most? Everyone thinks about Krishna.
Yeah.
Cow, servant, friendship, vatsalya, parents, wife. Who is thinking the most?
I think Radharani Prabhuji.
Yeah, when what I'm telling this is rasa vichar.
Rasa Vichar.
Hmm. Right? Rasa vichar. Just like Hanuman thought Sita is thinking the most of the most about Sri Ram, right?
Yes, Prabhu.
So he wanted to understand, how she is making Sri Ram very happy and all that. So, but he was a brahmachari, he didn't understand this Madhurya Ras and all that. He saw that, Ram is very happy when Sita wears a sindoor, and he made his own concept. Anyway, the point is like that. Um, that this is rasa vichar. Anyway, okay. So the highest is one who thinks about Krishna always, and the intensity is also very high in that. It is not just the highest. A servant also thinks of the master, but the friend, when he thinks of the his friend, that is higher, right? The intensity is very high. If you think of your servant and if you think of your friend, where do you think your heart will go? Definitely the friend. If you think about your friend and if you think about your parents, where will your heart will go? The parents. If you think
Parents.
about your spouse, where will the heart will go? To the spouse.
Spouse.
Like that it is. So that is the highest yogi, the supermost jnani. He has the most topmost knowledge with him, and he's the greatest devotee. He's the bhakta, greatest bhakti yoga, bhakti yogi actually. The Lord further tells Arjuna that as a Kshatriya he cannot give up his fighting, but if Arjuna fights remembering Krishna, then he will be able to remember Krishna at the time of death. But one must be completely surrendered to the transcendental loving or service of the Lord. So, okay, if somebody remembers Krishna at the time of death, but he's not completely surrendered, then he's given a chance in his next life to go and become completely surrendered. He may not immediately go back to God. Hmm? He may not immediately go back to God. But because he remembered Krishna at the time, Krishna said, okay, I'll give you one more chance. Come. I am in this material world. Come. And there one will see Krishna face to face. This happens. Okay. We will stop here. Any questions or comments?
Prabhuji, one not connected with today's session, other question. Prabhuji, like we keep Ekadasi fast. Okay.
Yes.
So like today there is a Varaha Dwadasi.
Yes.
So any difference in fast breaking or like?
Okay. See, the thing is now, if two festival comes or if a festival merges with Ekadashi,
Yes, Prabhu.
then Ekadashi is given highest priority.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ekadashi is given highest priority.
Prabhu,
So
it was yesterday,
today's
right?
see, there is some difference between Vaishnava Ekadashi and
Oh.
that thing, but I'm just telling. Sometimes Ekadashi comes with Shivaratri also,
Hmm.
or it may come the next day of Shivaratri or something else, where one has to break the fast. But because it is Ekadashi, na, Ekadashi is given higher importance. See, this happens with Vaishnava Sampradaya. Okay,
Yes. Yes, Prabhuji.
others may follow it differently.
Hmm.
They may give different importance, different preferences, and all that. But as a Vaishnava, we give highest preference to Ekadashi. So this Ekadashi always comes, yesterday's Ekadashi always comes with today's Varaha Dwadashi. So technically on Varaha Dwadashi, we should be fasting half a day or full day. But it will always come a day before, Ekadashi will come a day before, where we have to break the fast. If you
Yes,
break the
Prabhu.
fast in the morning, then how will you fast for Varaha Dwadashi?
True, Prabhuji. True.
Yeah, but because Ekadashi is given more importance than Varaha's appearance also, like the day
Yeah.
of appearance, okay?
Hmm.
So what is done is on the Ekadashi, the first half of that, at least in this Sampradaya, what we are in, the Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, we will have strict Ekadashi. No eating anything till
Hmm.
1 o'clock. After that, one can take Ekadashi Prasad.
Yeah.
That's the adjustment done. That's why it is said the fasting happened yesterday.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhuji.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah. So okay. Any other question?
That's it.
Okay. So we will stop